You ever stop and think about it? You click a mouse, tap your phone screen, and suddenly a whole universe just springs to life. A video starts playing, a message zips across the world, an entire city gets built in a game. It feels like pure magic, right? But it's not. It's actually a lightning-fast, invisible conversation happening deep inside your machine. And today, we're going to eavesdrop on that entire conversation.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How in the world does that one tiny physical action, a click, tell your computer to open a massive program or play a very specific sound? We just take it for granted, but the answer to that question? Well, it's the bedrock of our entire digital lives.
And you know what the craziest part is? This ridiculously complex operation all boils down to a surprisingly simple 4-step secret. It's a loop that every single computer, from a massive supercomputer all the way down to your smartphone, follows religiously for every single thing it does.
And here they are: input, process, output, and storage. This is it, the famous IPOS cycle. This is basically our treasure map for today. We're going to follow your command on its journey through this exact cycle, and we'll meet the key players inside your computer that make it all happen. So, think of it like a digital office, and we're about to go meet the boss.
All right, let's step inside this digital office. Every single instruction, every piece of data has to pass through the main office first. And the one running that office? It's the single most important component in the whole system, the CPU.
The Central Processing Unit, or CPU for short, is truly the brain of the entire operation. And I mean nothing, absolutely nothing happens without its permission. It's the ultimate decision maker, it's the mathematician, and it's the traffic cop, all rolled into one tiny chip. When you click play on a video, it's the CPU that's telling the screen what to show and the speakers what sounds to make.
And if you look inside this brain, it's got its own little departments. You've got the control unit, which is kind of like the director, pointing all the data exactly where it needs to go. Then there's the arithmetic logic unit. That's the math genius, handling all the tough calculations and yes or no decisions. And the registers? Just think of them as super fast sticky notes, holding on to the one specific instruction the CPU is working on right this second.
But here's the thing. Even the smartest manager in the world can't work without a desk, right? A workspace to spread out all the current projects and grab information quickly. The CPU is the brain for sure, but it needs a place to actually do its thinking, and that brings us to its most important partner.
So, welcome to the manager's desk. In the tech world, we call it RAM. This is the command center, the immediate workspace where all the real action is happening. RAM, that stands for Random Access Memory, is basically a temporary holding area for everything you're working on right now. The video you're watching, the document you're typing, all those browser tabs you have open, they're all living in RAM so the CPU can get to them in a flash. Now, it's really important to get RAM's personality. First, it's volatile. That means it's like a real desk. Once you turn the lights off and go home for the night, it gets wiped clean. All that data vanishes. Poof. Second, it gives the CPU super fast access, which is why your computer feels so responsive. And third, it's the absolute key to multitasking. The more RAM you have, the bigger your desk is, and the more things you can work on at the same time without everything grinding to a halt.
This leads to a really big question, doesn't it? If RAM is just temporary, if that desk gets cleared every single night when you shut the computer down, then where do your files, your photos, and your games actually live?
Well, the answer is in the office's long-term memory system, the filing cabinet. This is where you put everything away for safekeeping so you know it'll be there when you come back tomorrow morning.
And that, my friends, is storage. Unlike RAM, storage is non-volatile. It holds on tight to your data forever, even when there's no power. Your operating system, all your apps, that paper you saved last week, it's all filed away, safe and sound in storage.
Now, you've got a few different kinds of filing cabinets to choose from. The classic hard disk drive, or HDD, that's like the big old-school metal cabinet. It holds a ton of stuff, but it's a little slow to open. The solid-state drive, or SSD, is the sleek, modern version. It's crazy fast and makes your whole computer boot up in seconds. And a USB drive, that's kind of like a little portable folder you can carry from one office to another.
So, if you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this right here. RAM is the temporary desk you're actively working on. Storage is the permanent filing cabinet where you put things away. That one difference is what makes this whole digital office work so beautifully.
Okay, so our digital office is almost complete. We've got the manager, we've got the desk, and we have the filing cabinet. But how do we actually give the office our instructions, and how does it show us what it's done?
That's where input devices come into play. These are just the tools we use to talk to the computer.
your keyboard, your mouse, that touch screen, these are how you give your orders. That very first click we talked about, that's input. That's step 1 in our 4-step cycle.
And then, once the CPU and RAM have done their thing and processed your command, they need a way to show you the result. That's the whole job of output devices. Your monitor shows you the video, your speakers play the music, your printer prints the page. This is how the computer talks back to you.
And boom, this slide brings it all together. The whole journey, full circle. You provide the input with your mouse. The CPU and RAM process that command. The result is sent to an output device, like your monitor. And if you decide to save it, it gets filed away in storage on your hard drive. The IPOS cycle complete.
So from that one simple little click to whatever amazing thing is happening on your screen right now, it's all thanks to this digital office. A manager, a workspace, and a filing system, all working together in perfect silent harmony, billions and billions of times every second.
It's truly an incredible system when you think about it. This simple 4-step process, this little digital office inside our machines, it powers our hospitals, our banks, our entertainment, pretty much our entire modern world. The only real question left is, what on earth will it manage for us next?